Well, hi there, everyone. So this is the WonderCon Day 3 video. So my studio is currently not set up, so have to do this in my office. It's a little bit dark. But first of all, this is WonderCon Day 3. And first, what I've got for you is I've got two interviews that I did. First, I've got my friend Cal from McFly Comics, got an interview with him. And then I've also got an interview with Tony Fleece from Stray Dogs, Local Man. Currently got a book coming out called Uncanny Valley. Oh, and Feral. He just launched Feral #1. So got those interviews, and then I'll come back with some videos from WonderCon Day 3, and then my haul list from Day 3. Thank you very much. See y'all soon. Bye. All right, everyone. Hi, I'm here with Cal from McFly Comics. So, Cal, tell me, when did you get started in comics? Were you a collector first? Or?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Basically, you go back to the late Silver Age, late '60s. You know, the corner drugstore had the spinner rack, so I'd read a few off of the rack. I have vivid memories of like Avengers '71, you know, the Invaders issue, and some FS, but I really couldn't afford it. Probably I want to say 1970. Was dumpster diving for pop bottles, to buy a few comics.
Yeah.
They were 20 cents by then, cover price, and I was buying 4 or 5 or 6, a month, and then I turned 12 in like early '73. And I all of a sudden was, making 40, 50, 60 bucks a month. I was buying half the rack.
Yeah.
I was buying 100 comic books a month, and this is when I have a great love for Universal Monsters. This is when Marvel had started with Tomb of Dracula and Frankenstein's Monsters, Werewolf by Night and stuff. So I was buying multiples of those, and quickly, I loved Avengers, FF, and stuff like that, but I had this fascination with Captain Marvel.
Marvel, yeah.
And it wasn't too much longer
Marvel
after
Superheroes 12.
Exactly. Yeah. But his run, and I think Gene Colan was doing it, and then he changed his costume.
Yeah, number 17.
Yes,
was it,
exactly.
Was it
17 or 18. All right. Well,
yeah.
I don't want to.
It was right
I know
there.
everything. I'm just telling you this. But no, it was one of those things where, wow, what a cool character. And, I love, all the Earth characters, but I love it when like the Surfer is in space, or Captain Marvel, or Thor. When Thor's running around the galaxy, it's really fun. You get some unexpected.
Right. Well, tell me how McFly's comics came
about. Oh, okay. So anyway, I started collecting in the '70s, and of course, late '70s. Being a teenager, I kind of passed off. I do want to mention by '75, I was heavy into pillaging the local pharmacy for comics. A comic book store opened in Santa Monica on 4th and Wilshire called Roman Books.
Oh.
And it's 1975, and within a month I was working there. That's how that goes. So that was a big. Cool. And unfortunately, the owner had passed away, and I went into high school, so comics kind of took a back seat. When I was 18, I got a really good job being a mechanic, and I was making a lot of money. And I discovered Heidi Ho had moved from Pico over to 5th in Santa Monica.
Right.
So a year or two, shopping there and getting to know Mark and Bob Hennessy. I think it was early '81. They moved on to Santa Monica Boulevard in the big store, and that's when I first helped them. I could never forget going out the back door and pushing stolen shopping carts from Safeway full of comic cross from alley to alley across Santa Monica Boulevard, but the lights changed. And I worked off and on at Heidi Ho from '80 to '85, and I lived in Santa Monica at the time. So yeah. Anyway, from about '70 to about 2001, I easily amassed at least 60,000 comics.
Wow.
So I had the garage full, the den full, and a little bit of storage and stuff. And then 2008, I was playing poker with Brad himself, Brad Sloan of FVF. We're longtime friends, and we used to have an occasional poker game, and he had just come back from San Diego Comic-Con and told me how he had given some passes to some people and they bailed on him.
Oh.
So I said, well, I'm kind of interested in selling comics. Can I help you? And he said, will you bail on me? And I'm like, no. And here we are 15 years later, and I haven't bailed on him yet.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, so that's but I started selling at conventions, and I was still by this time I was a contractor fixing houses, carpenter, electrical, and all that stuff. But I still love comics. I was still buying
Nice,
a crazy
yeah.
amount every month. I'm the guy that for many years just bought everything that came out, and 2 number ones. So anyway, about 2008, I started selling. I do want to make a note. For the first 5 years of selling at conventions, I was selling 98% just duplicates. I had so many duplicates. So I guess maybe I wasn't touching my original collection. So anyway, business has gotten great, and even we can talk about 97 to 2005, how dead it was.
Sure, yeah.
But by 2008, things were starting to cook. Iron Man movie and all this other stuff. So I guess I got on the bandwagon just at the right time. And it evolved where, I've got running back and forth to storage, having to, put all these comics away in the garage just to get out my table saw and build something. So I was presented an opportunity to share some space. In Huntington Beach, and it started out kind of warehouse with a front door. For the first year or two, sure, I had a lot of customers, but it really allowed me to have a place to get the work done. Okay, now I've had the store for probably about 8 years now, all on my own. I just moved a couple months ago to a new location. The difference, yes, it's on the card. The difference between me, and this is what I want to express to anybody thinking about selling a comic book store, I don't sell new comics. Right. I don't have the expense of spending all that money and your arm twisted every month, spending crazy money for new comics. Almost all my inventory is at least 20 years old. Okay, so it's the difference between Barnes and Noble and a used bookstore. Yeah. So there is another step between selling at a convention or spare bedroom or on the internet and having the full-blown store. You follow me? I don't sell cards or toys or statues or anything like that. So and I don't have to know anything that's happened the last 20 years. So I'm a historian of the Bronze Age. And, I'm pretty good with the Copper Age. And of course, the Silver Age. But it makes it easy, and a lot of collections come in, and the majority of the books are older. Aged people's, get up there in age, you're selling your collection. Sure, I get some new stuff in and then. But I guess it's timing because, the last 15 years business has just grown incredibly.
Nice.
And anybody will tell you that. I do want to say, selling back issues at a store is so stable compared to all the noise we've had the last year or two about the market crashing and all this stuff, because it's not these high dollar books. Books from $20 to $100 have been the same price for years. They go up. Well, they go up a little with the economy, but I mean, let's face it. I don't sell $50,000 books.
Right.
And I don't take a bath when it goes down to 30. So yeah, that's where it bugs me. A lot of the noise is coming from, because basically, 99% and everybody I sell to are collectors.
Yeah.
If the economy or the business goes bad, they're still collecting.
Yeah.
They're still filling their lists. And that's what I do. I fill people's lists. I've got a good chunk of what they're missing.
Yeah.
And I have like a $2 minimum, but there'll be a stack of $2 and some $5, but then they'll also buy that key, 15, 20, or maybe 100. But that's, instead of going to 5 stores and coming away with 5 books, I'm blowing people out of the water.
Right.
I'm blowing them away. And like I said, all I do is pay the rent and the electric bill and buy comics when I want to. So that pressure is gone. And so I kind of bring the fun back into it, or the fun I've always had. I do call it my retirement career because I'm never going to slow down.
Yeah.
I've golfed. I'm not going to golf on Wednesdays and sit around the house. No, I work harder now than I ever did. But I'm not, pounding nails and getting electrocuted and stuff like that. I'm selling comics.
So tell us where people can find your store.
Oh, okay. Well, McFly's Comics is 17301 Beach Boulevard, Suite 14. I'm south of the 405, just south of Warner Avenue. There's a lot of car dealerships around there, so you can Google me. But I'm open Wednesday to Sunday, 10 to 6. I try and recover on Monday and Tuesdays. But come in and check it out. I've got a lot of, awesome back issues. I've got a lot of the, early Image runs and a lot of Dark Horse. But I also have a great supply of Charlton and Gold Key, the better ones that we're talking about.
Gold Key as well.
Gold Key, Dells. But more of the science fiction and horror and fantasy, more the ones people are interested in. I also have a pretty good magazine selection. Heavy metal is always popular, but Creepy and Eerie, of course, and Vampirella or something. And, everybody's been gobbling up my Mobius lately.
Really?
I used to fix his bus.
Oh,
Yeah, when he lived in Venice, California. Yeah, I built his engine, built his transmission. Gene Giraud. You knew Mobius? I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Wow. Yeah, wow.
yeah. So anyway, it's one of those things where living in West LA, you're gonna meet celebrities and
Sure.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like
Yeah.
that.
All
But
right.
basically, I just wanted to finish as far as the store goes. It's very casual. It's low key. You can spend all day looking through box after box and stuff like that, and it's not that new comic pressure.
Yeah.
And I love to talk. And I know all kinds of stuff about
Right,
the
right.
old
Yeah,
comics.
been doing this since
And,
'70. Yeah, you know a lot.
Yeah, my first San Diego was 1975. I've probably been to more than half of them. So I really get a kick out of people arguing about stuff, and I say, I was there. What are you guys speculating? I was there. I saw it happen. Yeah. So yeah, I've been into comics a long time, but I've only really been full time for about 8 years.
Okay.
But
all right. Well, I think you're doing well.
I do great. I have a great time because it's low pressure, and everybody. I really got to say the comic book community is really fantastic. Welcomed me with open arms. There's a great camaraderie. Sure, we're a little nitpicky on prices, but we all are special. We all have a special, hobby and relationship and stuff like that. So, buy old comics. That's all I can say. You get your money's worth.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Cal.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure as always.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. See you later.
Microphone's on?
Yeah, the microphone's on. I can see green light.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Tony. So we know that Stray Dog's been a hit, Feral a hit. You got some new books coming out. But where did you get your start?
My very first comic book was one that I wrote and drew myself. It was published by a really small publisher in 2006. It was called In My Lifetime. And it's like an autobiographical black and white comic, very far from sort of the stuff that I'm doing today, but it still had the same sort of character and humor that a lot of my stuff has now. Just no animals. Well, there were animals in it, but nobody was being murdered. So it was autobiographical. And then for the longest time, I worked on My Little Pony at IDW and did a bunch of licensed comics.
Friendship is Magic.
Friendship is Magic, Friends Forever, Fiendship is Magic, Nightmare Nights, Equestria Girls. Did tons and tons and tons of them.
All right, well, what is next for Tony?
So next up, in 2 weeks on April 10th, Uncanny Valley comes out from Boom Studios. It's a coming-of-age story about a boy who feels like he doesn't fit in. He's 12 years old. Him and his mom are always moving. He's always the new kid at school, and he just feels like off. He feels a little bit off. And he finds out that in the first issue of Uncanny Valley, he finds out that that's because his grandfather that he's never met before is a cartoon character, and he's part cartoon. And so he goes on like this cartoon adventure with his grandfather through across the country and then into cartoon world, and it's like a big sort of like coming of age Roger Rabbit story.
Oh, how fun! Yeah, I'll be picking that up.
Definitely.
And you're doing Local Man.
And then Local Man comes out every month from Image Comics. It's about a former 1990s superhero that has now been sort of fired from being a superhero and canceled a little bit, and he has to move back home with his mom and dad in the Midwest. And he's not allowed to do anything super, but people keep getting killed around him, and so he has to try and figure out if there's anything he can do to help or to stop this from happening while not being a superhero, while just being a regular guy. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Tony, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Very nice talking to you.
Yep, same. All right, so here I am at WonderCon, day 3. Bought some books. Hopefully show them to you later. I forgot about yesterday's book purchases. So just sitting down, having a bag of almonds. No, they do not supply them here. I brought my own. And a nice big bottle of water. Instead of $5 here, I paid $2.29 at 7-Eleven for this nice bottle of water. So I've got videos of a few. I got an R2-D2 like robot, really cool. Got a couple ladies. I'll be getting some more. I hope you enjoyed the interviews and my wanderings from WonderCon Day 3. So now what I've got for you is I've got my comic haul. A little bit dark. I hope things show up okay. So first of all, I have Walking Dead, issue 47. Walking Dead, issue 54. Walking Dead, issue 86. And Walking Dead, issue 89. A friend of mine had a booth, and we were talking Walking Dead, and he's like, I got a box. So I went through and found 4 that I'm missing from my collection of Walking Dead. So that's what I picked up. Then I picked up Captain Atom. I believe this is 82. I think it says 82 up there in that little spot. If it's not, I'll find out when I go to catalog it. But I'm into Carlton, and Captain Atom is one of the books that I'm interested in. So Captain Atom, 82. Okay, next I've got Web of Spider-Man, 32. So I know this has been talked about because of the cover, and I finally found it, saw it, and said, yeah, I gotta have it. So there we are. I've picked that up. Then, got a copy of Swamp Thing, number 3 by Bernie Wrightson. I love me some Bernie Wrightson. So when I saw Swamp Thing 3, I just had to pick it up. Next, I've got Jungle Action number 1. So this, of course, ended up becoming a Black Panther title. I think at issue 6, I think it was. But I'm happy to have a Jungle Action number 1. Next, I picked up a book. Closest thing for a while. I'm going to get to Marvel Spotlight number 2, First Werewolf by Night. I got Marvel Spotlight number 3, Second Werewolf by Night. So, saw this on a wall, had a good price, so I picked myself up a Marvel Spotlight number 3. Next, picked up a Marvel Presents the Legion of Monsters number 1. Legion of Monsters has been big recently, and I saw this and thought, yeah, I gotta have that. It's Legion of Monsters. I wasn't familiar with this book, but now I am. Next, one of my favorite books. I know a lot of people are your favorite, but it is. It's one of my favorite books. It is just so done well by Jim Starlin, and that is The Death of Captain Marvel. I'm a big Captain Marvel fan. I have the entire run with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 books of his original series. And I do own another copy of this, but when I bought the last one, I said, is it a first print? I didn't want to open it up. They said, yeah, I think it's a first print. It was a second print. I didn't pay high price for it, so I was okay with it because now that I had a copy. But now I have first print. Yes, I've looked inside. It is a first print. So I'm really happy to have that. Then I picked up a copy of Ultimate Invasion, the foil version. Ultimate Invasion number 1, the foil version. And right next to it was an Ultimate Invasion number 1, the black and white cover. So I've got that as well. Looking forward to reading that. So next, I went by the independent comic dealers, that are trying to sell their wares. And I saw this cover, and I really liked the cover. So I just had to pick this up. It's called Carter Kane, and it's by a guy by the name of Nate Levitt. So I'm excited to read it. It's real thick. It's a real thick book. So I'm going to give it a shot, and if I like it, I'll let you guys know at some point. Then I picked up Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, issue number 1, Silence of the Lambs homage cover by Tony Fleece. And this one I got signed by Patrick Horvath and Tony Fleece. Really excited to have that. Yeah, I know that I say that a lot, but you know, it's true. I'm really excited to have a lot of these books. Last, I picked up Lady Mechanica, The Devil in the Lake, issue 1, Fan Expo, limited to 500 copies, and I got it signed by Joe Benitez and Marcia Chin. She was very, very sweet. Really enjoyed meeting her for the first time. Joe, I've met a lot, seen him a lot, got a lot of books signed by Joe, but a new number 1, that's for me. Okay, so that's the end of my comic haul for WonderCon, and that puts an end. Actually, I've got a little tag here, so that'll be right after me finishing out the video. So everybody have a great day. Thank you for following. Please like and subscribe. All right, another WonderCon in the books, WonderCon 2024. Hope you enjoyed the interviews, the cosplay, and some of the books I bought I sent into CBCS already, so that's it. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody. Bye.